Well, here we are. This is the all-new 2025 Cannondale Topstone Carbon 2 gravel bike, and in this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and also I will tell you some of the likes and dislikes about this latest gravel bike from Cannondale. So hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So as you can see, the retail price of this Cannondale Topstone Carbon is 4,000 hard-earned US dollars. So definitely not a cheap bike, but when you look at some other offerings from the competition, it seems like these are the bike prices currently on the market. So let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So Cannondale Topstone is a classical example of a gravel bike, so definitely for riding a bit light off-road, going maybe bike packing or even doing some gravel racing. Definitely this Cannondale Topstone is going to be a top machine for that job. I have to mention here immediately, there is this secret sauce of this Cannondale Topstone bike, and this is this kingpin suspension at the back. So as you can see, on the seat tube there is a pivot point where basically the whole rear triangle of the bike can flex a bit, carbon fiber, and you can get this about 30 millimeters of flex at the rear triangle. So it's a very nice, very neat solution from Cannondale with this single pivot point, and definitely something unique, and as I would say, a secret sauce of this bike compared with some other gravel bikes on the market. When you also look at the paint scheme on this bike, currently there's only one paint scheme on offer. This is this totally blacked out paint scheme. Again, I believe that Cannondale should offer at least another paint scheme on this bike because, after all, asking price is 4,000 US dollars. Okay, let's talk about the frame and the fork of this bike. So what are you getting for your hard-earned money? So this frame is the Cannondale's carbon fiber frame with the matching carbon fiber fork. As you can see, internally routed cables, but what's good here is that the cables from the hydraulic disc brakes and also the mechanical shifters, they go under the handlebar, under the stem, and then into the frame. So it's going to be a bit easier to service if you need to service any of these cables, but still it's probably going to be a job for your local mechanic. Also, this bike comes with a 12mm through axles both front and the back, and there is a UDH, Universal Derailleur hanger at the back, which is absolutely excellent. So you are kind of, proof for the future. You don't have any problems because this UDH standard is probably going to be the way going forward. Also, with this carbon fiber frame, with Cannondale, you are getting their lifetime warranty, and the bottom bracket on this frame is a classical BSA threaded bottom bracket, 68 millimeters. Again, very easy to service, very easy to find parts anywhere. When it comes to the saddle and the seat post, I'm glad that this is a classical carbon fiber seat post, and also this frame is going to be compatible with the dropper post if you want to run the dropper post on this bike, and the saddle that's included is the Physique saddle. Since saddles are a personal preference, you might like it, you might not, but definitely it's going to be easy to replace in the future. So very nice competitive carbon fiber frame with a matching carbon fiber fork from Cannondale. And also forgot to mention that this carbon fiber frame on the down tube has a nice piece of storage, so you can bring some small tools or maybe even some pieces of food if you want in this down tube storage. It's a nice, neat solution, and many other gravel bikes / even endurance bikes have this down tube storage. Also, with this frame and the fork, you get this Cannondale wheel sensor at the front. So a very nice addition where you can track your speed, distance, average speed. And I even think I read somewhere that this little thing can also inform you via the Cannondale app of your kind of servicing intervals. That's a nice little addition to this Cannondale sensor. Okay, let's talk about the group set on this bike. So, all the group set on this bike is the Shimano GRX 820 mechanical group set. So this is a 12-speed mechanical group set, dedicated gravel group set from Shimano. So shifters, front mech, rear mech, everything is Shimano GRX 820, and it's an absolutely stunning 12-speed mechanical group set. Also, they didn't cut corners here, so Shimano GRX 820 crankset. So these are double chainrings at the front, which I really like to see. I believe that all these gravel bikes should come with a double chainring on the front, not a single one. And also the chain, Shimano's Ultegra 12-speed chain in this instance, and the rear cassette, Shimano Ultegra 12-speed cassette. But what's beautiful here is that a huge range of 1134 on that back cassette. So definitely, if you are spending long days in the saddle, if you are climbing any steep mountains, definitely no problems with this beautiful 1134 cassette. So all in, as you can see, no cutting corners when it comes to the full Shimano GRX 820 mechanical group set. Also, I have to mention here, when it comes to hydraulic disc brakes, both front and the back, Shimano GRX 820, and what I like to see here, 160mm braking rotors, both front and the back. And also, as I'm seeing here, these are the proper MT800 braking rotors, so on the Ultegra level braking rotors. Excellent heat dissipation, excellent stopping power, I mean top notch here. Truly, Cannondale didn't cut corners with this full Shimano GRX 820 mechanical group set and matching hydraulic disc brakes. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike and the tires. So the aluminum rims on this bike are from WTB, and the hubs on these bikes, are from Shimano. So very classical setup, aluminum rims with Shimano hubs is definitely gonna work properly, and is gonna be a classical, I would say, workhorse. Don't expect, anything super light. Probably all in, this wheel set would be somewhere in the region, I would say, closer to 1,900 grams. And this wheel set is also wrapped in the WTB tires. The tires on the bike are 45mm both front and the back, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. But if you need to fit a wider tire, that's also possible, because this frame and the fork will easily accept 52mm tires, but also on the front you could run a 56mm tire because of the specific construction of this carbon fiber fork. But all in, even if you want to run 52mm tires both front and the back, it's like a huge volume of air in this tire, and in my opinion, for kind of gravel riding, unless you are really racing and competing, even these 45mm tires are more than enough to attack some nice gravel trails. Okay, so all in, when you consider that the retail price is $4,000, what are some of my likes and dislikes with these bikes? So definitely, when it comes to the likes, I have to mention that this unique Kingpin solution on the market, I think it's an excellent solution from Cannondale. Definitely with this 30mm of travel at the back in this rear carbon fiber triangle, you will definitely soak up a lot of the road bumps, so that's a superb solution from Cannondale. And also, generally speaking, Cannondale's carbon fiber frames and forks, Cannondale's frames with a lifetime warranty, excellent, quality, and even if you have some problems, Cannondale will probably easily sort it. Also, I'm glad that the full Shimano GRX 820 group set is included here, including the top-notch hydraulic disc brakes, and also there was no cutting corners on the sizing of the braking rotors. Of course, the price of $4,000 is a bit of a dislike in my opinion. I truly hope that later in the year you can get about 10% discount on this bike. So if you can get it for about $3,600, then I think the price point would be perfectly fine. As it is now at 4,000 is just a little bit too much in my opinion, again, considering what it's offering, considering what else you can buy on the market. And another thing, in the future, of course, you will probably be thinking about upgrading this classical aluminum wheelset with Shimano hubs, upgrading to something, more advanced when it comes to aluminum wheelset, let's call it, DT Swiss wheels, or even going for some carbon fiber offerings of the wheels on the market. But generally speaking, Cannondale Topstone Carbon 2, it's a very interesting offering from Cannondale, and definitely if you are considering a proper gravel bike for even, generally riding gravel, not just, racing, and also for bike packing, you need to shortlist this newest Cannondale Topstone Carbon bike. So, this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!